From KPRC Channel 2, this is Houston Newsmakers with Cambrell Marshall.
Good morning. It's been a tumultuous couple of weeks. The death of George Floyd resulted in protests around the country and the world against the senseless killings of unarmed men and women in police custody. Since 2015, the Washington Post has kept a database of such killings and reports that there have been more than 5,000 such deaths. 2,469 have been white, 1,291 have been black, 900 have been Hispanic, with the rest falling into the other or unknown category. But taking into account that blacks make up 13% of the population, the deaths per million tell an eye-opening story. The rate of black Americans being killed is more than twice that of whites. 31 per million compared to 23 per million Hispanics, 13 per million whites. It is a revealing statistic. The question now is, how have and how will those statistics be analyzed in the wake of the George Floyd killing? What will be the result? Joining me to talk about the realities behind those statistics and some of the solutions being explored by the Houston Area Urban League is Judson Robinson, the president and CEO, Judson Robinson III, the president and CEO of the Houston Area Urban League. Good morning to you, Judson. Urban League slogan is empowering communities, changing lives. How is your organization responding to the events of the past few weeks?
Good morning, Cambrell. It's a pleasure and honor to be with you and all of your viewers today. We're heartbroken. We're really trying to figure out why has 21st century policing not advanced with the data, with the change of the demographics of our society, of the needs of our people. Why is it that over the last 2 decades, actual crimes are going down, but we're seeing deaths at the hands of police officers going up? We have to begin looking at the data. Mark Morial and his team in Washington are in Washington today to really talk about, with Congress, what are some of the reforms that we can put in place to make sure that we can reduce the number of these incidents, and how do we reform policing overall? I know today is Sunday, so it was actually this week. But,
right.
But certainly, we have been at this for decades, trying to make sure that we are moving with the times to adjust to the changes that need to take place in how police and African Americans interact in this country.
And what has your Urban League is a civil rights organization. You've seen these kinds of killings through the years of African Americans by police and characterize that as a violation of their civil rights. What makes this period of time seem different to you? And the Urban League's call to action, how does it change as a result of what kind of time period we're going through right now?
I think with the advent of social media, the ability to show the story and not just tell the story of what has been a pattern of injustice in our community is now apparent for everyone to see. And I think that, every human being is born with a degree of empathy, and so when you hear these stories that African Americans have been telling for generations after generation, and then all of a sudden you're able to see what happened to Breonna Taylor. You're able to see what happened to Ahmaud Arbery. You're able to see what happened to Big George. It just tells a story about an aha moment, that this is really not something that people have been making up. This is brutal, and it needs to stop. And I think the whole world is showing a time where they want to listen to how we can make the necessary changes to, as George said, to change the world, because it's time.
You've got the Urban League's 17th Legislative Policy Conference on the docket. I think it's coming up here, a virtual format. Talk about that gathering and what the goals are from that.
Well, the Urban League is a very unique organization. We, here in Houston and across the country, we not only advocate, as I'm doing today, but we also do the work. So we actually have programmatic responses. So if there's a spike in unemployment, then we have enhanced programs to help people get jobs. If there's a spike in foreclosures, we have enhanced programs to make sure people can stay in their homes. So we respond. The Legislative Policy Conference is a national gathering. Of course, it'll be virtual this year, but it's a national opportunity to have these discussions about police reform, about education, about housing, about all the cornerstone programs and journeys of life. You have to be educated. You have to be employed. You have to have a place to stay. You have to, at some point, be able to pass on generational wealth through entrepreneurship training. So all these are things that we talk about. We bring in the best thought leaders that we can get our hands on and legislators to have this discussion, analyze our work, and then look at ways forward to ensure that the work we're doing is the right work. Again, going back to my opening comments, we've got to look at the data. The last 2 decades, crime has been going down. So why does policing have to remain the same? And why does the militarily policing have to be the model when maybe that's not necessary according to the data?
Well, I'm going to make sure that everybody has information about that if they want to get involved or get some information from that. I know that you continue to do great work in this community as an organization and as an individual. Your daddy, your granddaddy, everybody's done it, so you've been doing it as well. Thank you for what you've done, Judson, and thank you for what the Urban League does. And we'll keep track of what's going on, and you get back to us as you have something to talk about, okay?
It's a deal.
Thank you, sir. Just ahead, Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia on the congressional reaction and about the latest efforts to get the economy back in gear. But I'll leave you with a look at the states with the most fatal police shootings since 2015, with Texas #2 on that list at 480. Houston Newsmakers will be right back.